Hey, Trail over at GoHUNT. Today I've got some gear from the gear shop. We're moving into a new year. We're moving into shed hunting season. We wanted to highlight some gear that you ought to pick up or think about picking up for upcoming shed hunts. Shed hunting has become increasingly more popular across the West. If you want to get out, stretch the legs, get the kids out, do some looking for shed antlers, it's a great way to spend your spring. Those elk are going to shed typically in March. Mule deer, they may be even dropping right now. I wanted to highlight some of the gear that I think, is potentially really interesting or good for shed hunting. It's going to be great gear moving into the fall, so it's dual purpose. You've got a tax return coming back, hopefully, so now's a great time to take a big chunk of money that you might only have one time and put it into something significant. So first and foremost, I'm going to jump in and talk about that item. I've got a pair of SWAROVSKI NL Pure binoculars. This is a 10x42. We've got these in stock. My first pair of good binoculars, I put my entire tax return into it. I think I was a freshman or a sophomore in college. Good investment. I never regretted it. I would highly recommend, if you got the money, you got a tax return, and you need some good glass, put it into a good set of binoculars. It will pay dividends both in shed hunting and in hunting in general. So the NL Pure 10x42, top of the food chain when it comes to glass. We've got those in stock. Give Cody Nelson a call here at the office and he can get you an insider price. So check that out. That's my first piece I wanted to highlight. Spring is a great time to pick up a new pair of boots and break those in. Get out, hit the hills, do some shed hunting, break your boots in so that they're good and ready for the fall. The pair of boots I've got here is a Zamberlan Mountain Trek. It's the 2092 model. I think this would be an excellent option for guys getting out and hitting the hills for shed hunting, especially for elk sheds. The reason I picked this boot and wanted to highlight it, one, it's an extremely comfortable boot. We give this boot about a 4, 4.5 on our flex scale. I've had one on a couple hours this afternoon just trying it out, and it actually flexes quite nice. It's going to break in really well with your foot. I would say it's probably closer to a 4 flex. One of the reasons I picked this boot was because of this leather upper. It's a really hardy, heavy-duty leather upper. It's actually a 2.8 millimeter leather hydroblock per Wagner leather, which is a mouthful to say. Ultimately, what that gives you is a really hard-wearing, heavy-duty leather upper that's going to last a long time. You've got a full rubber ram. It's a little bit higher in the heel. You have a triple density midsole for comfort. It's also going to break in really nice. It's going to mold your foot. You've got a great lacing system. This boot made by Zamberlan is one of the boots I definitely want to try out this year. Shed hunting is notoriously hard on boots. You really go through and wear and tear a lot on your boots when you're out constantly in and out of snow, getting them wet, drying them out. I think this would be a really nice option for you if you're looking for a hard-wearing pair of boots. It's going to serve you really well in the spring and then also going into the fall into elk and mule deer hunts. All right, the next product I've got for you is a quality set of trekking poles. It's hard to beat a set of trekking poles when you're out shed hunting or even when you're hunting into the fall. I didn't adopt trekking poles for a lot of years, but I can tell you after you get into a set, they make a world of difference. They definitely take the fatigue off of your legs. Help your knees for sure. You're going to stay on your feet a whole lot more. I've had some really nasty falls out shed hunting. I would highly suggest a set of trekking poles just to give you that third or fourth point of contact with the ground. The set I've got here for you is a pair of black diamond ALPINE carbon cork trekking poles. Probably the best flip lock levers in the business. They stay put, they're secure. Carbon fiber, 3-leg sections, just over a pound for a pair. It's got a cork handle grip. A great thing about cork handles is that they mold to your hands over time. You also don't get that friction that you can get with like a rubber or a foam grip that can kind of cause blisters on your hands over time. My personal preference is a cork grip. I really like those. Once again, ALPINE carbon cork trekking poles, my opinion, hands down, best set of trekking poles on the market. To go along with a quality set of boots, we have tons of boots in the gear shop, is a set of gaiters. If you're shed hunting the West, gaiters are going to be your best friends. You got to have a good pair of gaiters. We've got several sets in the gear shop, including Trek. We also have this Sea to Summit QUAGMIRE gator, which you don't hear a ton about, but it's actually one of my favorite gaiters. It's got some things I really like about it. One, E-vent is your waterproof material in this. It's both breathable and waterproof. I like the fact that it's got E-vent material in it. One of my favorite things is this little hook and loop portion at the top of the gator. It's not the traditional flip open, feed the tab through and then pull it. Those types are always flipping open for me. I much prefer this type of gator where you've got the loop that slips through, you pull it tight and it stays put above your calf. You've got a lower portion obviously here that's going to hook onto your laces to keep that gator down. You've got the underfoot portion, which is this heavy duty material. It's not going to wear out over time. I've got a set of these QUAGMIRE gators. They've been really good for me. Like I said, we've got lots of gators in the gear shop, but hands down, you gotta have some gators if you're gonna get out and do some shed hunting this spring. One of the best purchases I think you can make is a quality tripod and head setup. We've got lots of tripods in the gear shop. In my opinion, this is one of the best value purchases you can make in the GoHunt gear shop. This is the SIRUI T024SK with the VA5 head. Price point on this is $299, which is a really nice value for what you get. If you were to buy this head by itself, it's about $165. So for another, 130, 40 bucks, you get the legs as well, which is a really nice option. Starting with this VA5 head, you've got both the tilt and the pan. It's a fluid head, so the action is very, very smooth. I've got one of these. I absolutely love it. It's been awesome for me. The set of legs, once again, the T024SK. You've got 4 leg sections. You've got a center post. Probably one of the nicest things about this entire tripod setup, besides the price point, is that the entire thing is just shy of 3 pounds. So you're 2 pounds, 15.7 ounces for the entire setup. This would be a great option for you if you're headed out into the hills looking for elk sheds, or if you want to transition into the fall. It'll handle binoculars, it'll handle a spotting scope. Once again, probably one of the best value purchases in the GoHunt gear shop. SIRUI T024SK with the VA5 head. The last couple I have for you are backpacks or backpack accessories. I have the Mystery Ranch BACKSTRAP, which is an accessory that you can hook up to any of your Guidelight MT frames. So if you've purchased a Pentler or a Metcalf, any of the packs that come on that Guidelight MT frame, you can purchase this as an aftermarket accessory. Essentially what you do is you can remove your bag and you can install this onto the frame. It's got all the clips that clip into the side compression pieces as it goes up. You've got enough room here on a shelf that you can pack a lunch, you can pack a minimal amount of gear and equipment, throw that in a dry bag, stick that in there, and then you've got tons of room to pile sheds and haul those out of the backcountry. This is a nice little accessory for hauling hindquarters. It's a great little accessory for shed hunting in the spring. Once again, this is the Mystery Ranch BACKSTRAP built for the Guidelight MT frame. The last piece I have for you is one of my very favorites. This is the Stone Glacier X-Curve frame. You can buy this as a single purchase by itself, frame only. We carry these in the GoHunt gear shop. You can add bag only options to this. You can buy this frame by itself in the GoHunt gear shop. You can also buy bags by themselves to go onto this frame. It makes it really nice because you can buy different bag options depending on what you're doing. So you may want to put a smaller cubic inch bag onto this frame for days when you're out shed hunting. So you can put a minimal amount of gear in that, maybe your lunch, your optics, a jacket or two. You can head out and hit the hills with a minimal amount of equipment that you need for shed hunting. It's a great option. And then you can also use a larger backpack once you get into the fall to do those 5 to 6, 7, 8 day backpack hunts. One of my very favorite things about this Stone Glacier X-Curve frame is the actual shape of the frame itself. So you can see you get a nice curvature of your back. You've got 4 molded carbon fiber stays that give it the rigidity. So you've got 2 on the outside, you've got 2 that run through the middle in an X fashion. You've got the load shelf, obviously. You've got a nice hip belt. I've used a lot of packs over my years. I've been using this pack, this X-Curve frame, for about 5 years at this point. I've tried a lot of bags, a lot of frames. For me, this is my very favorite frame. I've packed all kinds of animals out of the woods in this thing. Carries extremely well, it's comfortable. I've had no problems with durability. It'll definitely handle any kind of weight you can put into it. I think this would be an excellent option if you're looking to pick up a frame to do some shed hunting this spring. You could haul a ton of elk sheds out in this thing. So once again, that's the Stone Glacier X-Curve frame. Buy it by itself in the gear shop, or like I said, pick up a bag to go with it. Overall, these are just some products I wanted to highlight. I think these are excellent options for you to head out, hit the hills this spring, do some shed hunting. you know, enjoy the sun, the weather, hopefully pick up some brown gold. We have a ton of other options in the GoHunt gear shop, lots of different boots. If you're looking for a new pair of boots, I think spring is an excellent time to pick up boots, break those in for the fall hunts. If you guys have any questions about these, hit me up in the comments below. Get some new gear, get out, hit the hills.